Howdy folks, this is Turtle, and welcome to something a little bit different. Now this is Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, TEW 2016. It is a wrestling booking simulator. So basically what this is, for those that are unaware, is a game where you are the booker or owner of a wrestling company. You essentially book the matches, you hire and fire, you handle all the business crap, and all the behind the scenes stuff. And we are booking World Championship Wrestling, WCW, in the year 2000. I just find this particular time of WCW very fascinating since the booking at this point was kind of iffy, to say the least. And yeah, we're gonna try and save WCW from going under, and I think this is the perfect time to jump in and do it. So yeah. Oh yeah, we're Kevin Sullivan, by the way. We just took the book from Vince Russo. Even though Vince Russo is still kind of here, but whatever. Let's run the show. Now, opening with the 74, this is right after Starrcade, so Bret Hart just turned heel. He's with the NWO, and the NWO are cutting Hart, Jarrett, and the Outsiders are cutting a promo, and they're basically saying how we fooled you. It's too bad that Bret Hart had to vacate the world title, because at this time, Bret Hart suffered a major concussion after his match with Goldberg, but in real life, he wrestled several matches after the fact, and then had to retire later on. But we're taking him out of action for at least a few weeks, and so Bret Hart had to vacate the belt, and NWO once again trying to run roughshod. Chris Benoit comes out, and then he's basically saying, "Why did you do that, Bret? I trusted you. You were my friend, a fellow Canadian. Why did you turn your back on WCW?" And they have a little spat, and then Benoit challenges, and then not Benoit, the Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, challenge Benoit, say, "Hey, if you want to grab a partner, I know we didn't have our match at Starrcade, but we're gonna grab a partner and meet us in the main event. Then we'll fight you." And Chris Benoit says, "All right, all right." Now backstage, we cut to David Flair, Daphne, and Crowbar. Daphne and Crowbar have recently entered the picture, so David Flair is rummaging through the trash for some reason. I know the reason. We'll get to it later. But yeah, let's 37. And a bout that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd hit the artist formerly known as Prince Iaukea, defeated Evan Courageous at 444 by submission. That gets to 38. It cooled the crowd a little bit more. I might do something with the artist. Not entirely sure. He does have a victory over Evan Courageous while he was still Cruiserweight Champion. I may use that as a plot point later. But yeah. Now backstage with Roddy Piper and the Powers That Be. During this time, Vince Russo was sort of an off-screen figure called the Powers That Be. I'm still keeping that for right now. And Roddy Piper is in a verbal spat with the Powers That Be. And Roddy Piper basically says, "Oh, I've got a surprise for you from the board. You're probably not gonna like it, but I certainly will." Hacha, reality check. Huh? And then we cut to Kimberly Page, Diamond Dallas Page's wife. She's doing something backstage. I had her rated on sex appeal, so yeah. And it's shown off in the distance, or rather obscured behind like a wall or whatever, or behind a door or something. Lex Luger is Uh, Lex Luger is sort of checking her out a bit, maybe stalking her a little bit. I think that uh, Lex no longer has Elizabeth. He had Elizabeth under contract. And plus, Elizabeth is not in the company right now. She's sort of taking time off. Actually, several people are taking time off. We'll get to maybe I'll get to that later. But yeah, maybe Lex is looking for a new manager. Oh right, gimmick change. I forgot about that. Okay. Okay, and about that at Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, Harlem Heat defeated Lane and Lodi in 6:44 when Stevie Ray defeated Lenny Lane by submission. Booker T was head and shoulders above everyone else. So this is just to give Harlem Heat a win, a bit more momentum, and Lane and Lodi kind of suck. So, oh come on. Okay, so he was wasted on drugs. Harlem Heat cut a promo, uh, basically saying they'll always be together, they'll never be apart, and they'll always be a team. They've had their differences in the past, but that's behind them. Okay, so David Flair is rummaging through the trash yet again, and he finds the WCW World Television title. See, around late November, early December of 1999, Scott Hall was the WCW World Television Champion, but he didn't really care about the belt. He was U.S. champ at the time as well, and he only wanted to keep one belt, so he just threw the WCW World title in the trash. Now, in real life, it was recovered by Hacksaw Jim Duggan, who was a sort of janitorial worker gimmick at the time, because the powers that be wanted to humiliate him. But I decided to put it on David Flair in this reality. In a poor match, Perry Saturn defeated Vampiro in 10:36 by pinfall with a Saturn bomb. During the match, we also saw Oklahoma distract Vampiro and Big Tony Johnson also distract Vampiro. It's supposed to be Big Tony Johnson attacks Vampiro, but okay. So that gets 54. So Oklahoma, aka Ed Ferreira, trying to be Jim Ross, he was sort of in a feud with Vampiro. Vampiro. He fought Dr. Death Steve Williams at Starrcade and got his hands on Oklahoma. This is sort of a continuation of that, but this time Oklahoma has Big Tony Johnson, also known as Ahmed Johnson. I'm not doing Big T. I'm not doing the whole fight for the letter T, the right to have the letter T in your name or that bullshit. So, yeah, we're gonna have Big Tony Johnson attacks Vampiro in the ring and leaves him down and out. That's terrible. Okay, Mike Tenay is with Medusa, and she's being interviewed about her recent cruiserweight title win and how it's kind of a historic win. And she says, "Well, I unlike that nutcase David Flair, I won all my titles. I've paid my dues." And Roddy Piper comes out and he reveals that it is Terry Funk that, Terry Funk is the sort of the ace in the hole for Roddy Piper to try and get the powers that be out of power. Terry Funk is trying to become the commissioner and try to usurp the powers that be. In a poor match, Shane Douglas defeated Conan in 13:28 by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. So this is kind of a continuation of stuff that happened in December. Basically, The Revolution, which is Shane Douglas' stable, attacked the Filthy Animals, which is Conan's stable. And Filthy Animals were like not on TV for a while, so I'm sort of just following that up. David Flair rants about Medusa. Oh yeah, I didn't mention. So during the Terry Funk promo, he states that if the Outsiders lose to Benoit and the Mystery Partner, the Outsiders are not cannot challenge for the World Tag Team titles for the foreseeable future. The World Tag Team titles will be decided in a four-way dance match, but if the Outsiders lose, they will not challenge for the belts in that match. So the NWO 2000 is discussing the Funk and the stipulation, and Jarrett is just reassuring him that, hey, I'm the chosen one. We've got the powers to be in our pocket. Come on now. Main event. Okay, so Chris Benoit comes out after the Outsiders to have their entrance, and Chris Benoit has his partner. It's Ric Flair. Woo! So yeah, Benoit and Flair versus the Outsiders. Okay, so and about that, great wrestling and good heat. Chris Benoit and Ric Flair defeated the Outsiders in 10:23 when Ric Flair defeated Scott Hall by pinfall with a roll-up. So yeah, a nice rating. And yeah. God damn it. Okay, so having just picked up the victory, Flair and Benoit still in the ring. Yay! A 62. Okay. Yeah, I need to figure out how to do this well. So WCW doesn't have enough interesting storylines going on. Whatever, work in progress. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, and the like, and I'll see you next time.